Hey there, I'm Angie. Welcome to your 30-minute flow. For today's flow, we'll need some blocks, a strap, and potentially a blanket if you want to place that underneath your knees at any point. And as we're moving today, I invite you to follow along with me, but take what your body needs today. Honor where you are at today. You are your own best teacher, so follow whatever you need. In today's class, we will focus on mobility and some dynamic movements in the shoulders and hips. We'll get into the hamstrings, but most importantly, what I'd really like for you to place your focus on today is turning your attention inwards and focusing on the breath. We'll go ahead and get started in a comfortable seat. Find a tall spine. And here in this seat, I invite you to interlace your hands behind your head, bringing your chin towards your chest, maybe closing your eyes in this position and using your arms to block your ears for a little bit of withdrawal of the senses. And here in this position, I invite you to check in with yourself, where you're at today, not placing any judgment on anything, but just observing. I'll give you a few moments to just reflect inwards. Starting to deepen the breath and remove the interlace of your hands behind your head. Finding our strap, and we'll take we'll do some shoulder flossing. So inhale as your arms come up and overhead to whatever degree you'd like. Exhale as they come forward, and here you can widen the strap as much as you need to. Maybe hanging out in any spots that might feel some tension, giving them a little extra love. When you're ready, we'll place the strap to the side and meet in a tabletop position. Here in our tabletop, find your alignment. Shoulders over wrists, hips over knees. And we'll start with a few cat-cows. So inhale, drop your belly, look forward, and exhale, round the spine, look towards the belly button. Take a few more. Finding some movement from side to side. We'll start to inch our fingertips close to the front of the mat and bringing our either forehead or chest towards the ground for a puppy dog pose. Really opening the front of the shoulders here. To come back up in our tabletop, and we'll take a few dynamic thread the needles. So inhale your right arm up towards the sky, exhale, thread it through, inhale, Inhale. And on the next exhale, let's drop our right ear towards the mat. You can either leave your left hand where it is, or bring it in front of you, or in your hip crease. Right hip crease. Breathing here. When you're ready, bring your left hand underneath your shoulder, right arm up towards the sky, and we'll bring it back down. Let's take that on the other side. Inhale, your left arm up. Exhale, thread it through. Ready, let's bring that right arm back down. Inhale, left arm reaches up, and exhale down. From here, let's bring the right foot towards the back of the mat, going back and forth, massaging out the calf. We'll take that on the other side. When you're ready, let's make our way into our first downward facing dog. Really spread throughout all 10 fingers, tucking the toes, lifting the hips up towards the sky. In our first down dog, let's pedal out our feet, really feel into the backs of the legs. When you're ready, we'll come to stillness. Taking a few deep breaths here. On your next inhale, let's bring our right leg up towards the sky. Exhale, knee towards the nose, round the spine. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale here. And on your next exhale, let's drop the right foot in between both hands. Coming into a low lunge, finding your foundation. And inhaling, arms reaching up overhead for our high crescent lunge. Here in our high crescent, try to find weight between both legs, equal weight between both legs. Dropping the shoulders away from the ears, facing the hips forward, finding your stability here. Inhale. On your next exhale, drop the hands. Inhale, right arm reaches up towards the sky for an open twist. And exhale, drop it down. Here, let's straighten out the right foot slightly and bring the left leg in at a 45-degree angle, using the thumb to soften the right hip back so that both hips are facing forward. Inhaling to lengthen the spine. And blocks might be really great here. And exhaling to fold forward. If you notice your attention drifting elsewhere, bring your attention back to the breath, back to the body, back to the practice. Just remove the blocks. And meet back in our downward facing dog. And we'll take that on the left side. Inhale, left leg reaches up. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale, bring it through, finding our foundation. Inhaling, arms reaching up overhead. On your next exhale, let's drop it down. Inhale, left arm reaches up. And exhale, drop it down, straightening the left leg, bringing in the right foot slightly closer. Plugging the right hip back. Inhaling to find length. And exhaling to find depth. We'll remove the blocks. Coming back into our downward facing dog. Breathing here. On your next inhale, let's shift forward to a high plank. Bending your knees, sending your hips up for a downward facing dog. We'll do that 2 more times. Inhale, shift forward, and exhale, downward facing dog. Really trying to find some fluidity in the spine here. Find stillness. On your next inhale, look forward, bend the knees and tiptoe your way to the front of the mat. Meeting in our first forward fold. Grabbing opposite elbow, letting your head go, letting your neck go, putting a generous bend in your knees, trying to bring your chest towards your thighs. Drop your hands down. We'll inhale very slowly to the top of the mat. Head is allowed to come up, meeting in our Tadasana. Hands by your side. Palms are facing forward. Let's close our eyes and just take a minute to notice what's arising. Notice if anything has shifted from the time that we began this practice. Coming back to the breath. When you're ready, let's open the eyes back up. Placing your hands on your hips, engaging your core, putting a slight bend in the left knee, bringing our right knee in towards our chest. We're going to take a few hip circles. Away from the midline, 3, and towards the middle. Breathing here. When you're ready, bring your right leg towards the back of the mat, and we're going to place our hands on the inside of the right foot for our lizard lunge. Here, you can find some movement to settle in, really giving our hips some love. Maybe placing the right knee on the ground, coming onto blocks, or potentially your forearms. When you're ready, we'll come back up, bring the right knee off the ground, and we'll pivot to the right side of the mat for a wide-legged forward fold. eventually making our way into a side lunge towards the back of the mat, really flexing that left foot. And here you can stay up if you need to. It's all good. You can also place a block underneath your seat. Let's place our hands back on the mat, and we'll come to the back of the mat, meeting in a forward fold once more. On your next inhale, let's come up slowly once more. Head is the last to come up. Maybe rolling out the shoulders. Before coming to stillness. We'll take that on the left side. So bringing our hands towards our hips, bringing our left knee in towards our chest, and taking those hip circles, 3 each way. Before bringing the left leg towards the back of the mat, dropping our hands down for a lizard lunge. Starting to make our way back up, lifting the left knee off the ground, and coming to our wide-legged forward fold once more. Here it might feel great to interlace the hands behind the head, interlace the hands behind the back, and try to bring them overhead as you fold down. Of the grip, and making our way into our side lunge here once more. When you're ready, we'll pivot towards the front of the mat, meeting in our forward fold once more. Before coming to our seat, I'm going to turn this way. Bringing our soles of the feet together for our butterfly pose. Really releasing any stagnant energy in the hips. Before preparing for our firelock pose. So here we'll place the left shin on the ground, and the left shin will be parallel to the front of the mat. Bringing the right leg to stack on top of the left. So then the foot stacks on top of the knee, and here it might feel good to place a block underneath, or just come into a comfortable seat however you can. We're going to inhale, find a tall spine here, and exhale, fold forward. Breathing through any sensations in the outer hip. let's come up and switch sides. Right leg parallel to the front of the mat, and left leg stacks on top, finding that tall spine and exhaling forward. Come up, plant both soles of the feet together, or on the ground, sorry. Bringing the knees towards the right, and flossing the hips side to side. Before coming towards center, we'll take a reverse tabletop. Here we can have our hands facing our feet, or they can face the back of the mat, whichever you prefer. But here, let's plant our feet firmly on the ground, inhaling our hips up towards the sky, dropping your head back, breathing here. All the way flat on your back.